Hi guys, it's Cody and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you guys how I created my Ririchiyo cosplay from Inu x Boku SS. So first let's start off with the wig. As you can see, this wig is not accurate to Ririchiyo's straight hair, so the first thing I did is straighten it out with my hair iron. After that, I gave the bangs a trim and then made blunt cuts to the bottom. And that's pretty much what I did to the wig. Really nothing to it, it was quite the easy fix. For Ririchiyo's hair ornament, I actually wanted to try to do something a little different in making it, so I decided to make it using the Hana Kanzashi method. Basically, I took an old red sleeve that I had lying around and then made a few petals using a bunch of circles. Once I folded the circles in half, I then used a hand running stitch to put them all together and then created the base for the flower. To make the center of the flower, I just used some leftover beads from my Ahiru cosplay, and then to add the finishing touch, I added a green felt leaf as well as a base using leftover felt from my Red Trainer cosplay. To create the horns, I first created a base horn using leftover fabric and polyfill. After I created the base horns, I took strips of fibra and wrapped them one by one around the horn to completely cover it up. After that, I glued both the horns and the flower to a headband using hot glue and Wonderflex. To create the tights, I first put on a pair of leggings that I owned. Then, using some pins, I marked where I wanted the cutouts to go. Be very careful when you're doing this so you don't poke yourself, okay? I used a silver Sharpie to fully flesh out the cutouts and then cut them out. And that's how I created her tights. One other thing that you need to add on here that I just wore separately are black tabi socks. For the kimono top, I went ahead and patterned out a short kimono top as well as a collar and furisori sleeves. I'll put a link in the description below on the tutorial that I use in case if you guys want to try it out for yourself. After I sewed the torso together, for the collar I went ahead and put in a thin red strip to sort of act as a fake collar. It just sewed it onto the underside of the collar and then attached the collar to the torso. After that, I finished connecting the rest of the kimono pieces together and then added some snaps to keep the collar closed. For her shorts, I went ahead and combined a hakama pattern from a previous cosplay, as well as a pair of shorts that I already owned. After that, I went ahead and cut all the pieces out from some leftover red cotton fabric. In case you haven't noticed with this whole project, this was essentially a lot of using leftover items that I had lying around. Once I put the whole pants together, I then went ahead and ironed out all the pleats. To finish off the hakama, I encased the raw edges with the ties, and then I attached the little trapezoid flap that goes on top. Scarf, I actually went ahead and followed AK Widu's tutorial on how to create a fake scarf. First and foremost, I went ahead and made the loop. Then I looped it around and got it into a circle that went over my head, and then I top stitched a small portion of it down just to keep it in place. To create the designs on the flaps, I first went ahead and drew out the designs on paper, and then I transferred them to heat and bond, which I then used to connect cotton fabric. After I sewed the flaps together, I then went ahead and pinned and pleated the flaps in a way that would kind of look a little natural, and then I top stitched it under the second layer. Next up was this Hanya mask that I just bought off of eBay. Really easy fix. The only thing I did was just replace the elastic band to fit my waist. Finally, Ririchiyo's spear. I wanted to make it so that I could easily transport this spear, so the first thing I did was cut my PVC pipe into smaller pieces. After I drafted up a pattern using leftover paper, I transferred it to 5mm craft foam and then glued all the pieces together using hot glue. All the craft foam pieces were then covered using leftover fibra that I had lying around. This was honestly such a great project to use up all the leftover scraps that I had. After that, I gave all the pieces several coats of spray paint and then sealed my paint job using matte clear enamel paint. Because my connector PVC pipes were a little too thin, I went ahead and wrapped multiple layers of painter's tape around them just to give some friction as well as thicken them up a little bit. After that, I just went ahead and hot glued the pieces in. The finishing touch on this spear was these tassels that I made using embroidery floss, and then for the top one, I attached some bells to it as well. And with that, my Ririchiyo cosplay is done. If you like this vlog, please give it a thumbs up, and if there's any other questions that you have in regards to how I made Ririchiyo, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to see more cosplay content from me, or if you want to see more dance stuff from me, check out my dance channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye!